So let's recap. How long you been following the channel now?
My wife started working about 4 or 5 months.
About 4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
And she was trying to help you out at home by
Yeah.
trying to do what I do at your house.
Some things we did, yeah. Learn some of your techniques. Yeah.
So she tried some of my techniques, but it wasn't really working for her.
Well, you can see.
So yes, you know what? Go ahead and see Dr. J. You know the routine.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take little bites here.
I remember.
Let me know if it's too much pressure, okay?
Certainly will.
You said your wife was trying to use clippers like this?
We have something like that.
Okay.
Sure. We have, actually, both sides you have, like one on the table and one you have right there.
Gotcha.
The part she couldn't really do very well is like when you get down here, you look down the side of the toe, you see fungus down there.
Yeah.
That's
All down in here.
All down, yeah. That's the part was the challenge with her.
Because the thing is, you got to know where the nail ends and where the skin begins.
Right. And that's why she didn't want to mess with that.
Okay.
And that's something you kept stressing on your videos. So.
Right. Now.
I only pop off one easier than that. I guess when you soak, they're not as brittle as they were.
Mm-hmm. Were you soaking it at home prior to trying to trim them?
We tried all kinds of ways.
All kinds of ways.
Before doing it. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
She was trying. See how thick that is?
Yeah. So this takes years to develop like this. Like you said, you've had it for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So.
That's why I think I'm wasting my time doing this because it's been so long,
Mm-hmm.
I said, give it a shot.
So after a long time, the skin starts to build up underneath the nail as a result of the fungal infection.
Okay.
And over time, not only does the nail get thicker, but this underlying debris pushes the nail up.
Oh.
So that makes the nail get loose.
Oh.
And so if the nail is loose, that continues to allow fungus to get in. And so it just keeps perpetuating.
Right.
You know, sometimes we'll see this after injury or something like that, but you have the same condition in all 10 nails.
Right.
You know, every now and then we'll see it in just one nail or maybe both big toenails. But when we see it in all 10 like this, you know, it's a long-standing process.
Yeah.
Had you tried any medications before?
Such as? No.
I mean, anything like you may have bought from the store, or maybe something that may have been prescribed to you some time ago?
Well, I never actually went to the doctor specifically for this.
Okay.
So, just standard over-the-counter drug. Mostly lotions and stuff like that.
Okay.
Things like that. As a matter of fact, I've stopped putting oils and lotion in my toenails, my toes. So you said you shouldn't do that.
Exactly.
You know, so I picked it up kind of late, but.
Okay, well, you learn it.
Yeah.
That's what the channel's all about, man. Teaching people about
and that's about
proper foot health.
Right.
There we go now. See how this is coming up? Just give it a little twist. And that thick skin starts to come up. Now, we're starting to see the nail bed, which you probably haven't seen in years.
I have not. Didn't know I had one.
Go. Now, what type of shoes do you wear most of the time for your work?
I don't wear tennis shoes, but normally just basic dress shoes.
Okay.
Now, since I've been home coalescing, I just started wearing those sandals over there, and I have some skeeters. What are those shoes? I guess tennis shoes like. and I kind of put my hard shoes aside because I have to go to work.
Okay. So you working from home?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because the lockdowns?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so like see how this one gets real round?
Mm-hmm.
So it can be difficult to get the clipper around it. And some folks will make an attempt and get too anxious and over aggressive and end up cutting themselves.
No, to my wife's credit, she never actually, cut me.
Good.
She's very careful with that.
Yeah.
Give credit for that.
Because even in these real thick nails like this, the skin is not that far away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to cut yourself, especially with these big bad boys right here.
I know. Actually, she don't like using them. She prefers use a small bit like you have on the table. But you're right. Every time she did cut, and I had some little bleeding. Just cutting too close to the skin.
Yeah.
Not often though. Very infrequent.
There we go. See how we're getting it flatter now?
Tell you one time, I never forget this. My wife went in there and kind of did her thing with my toes. And my grandson said, "Hey, you got broken toenails." I said, "Oh man, your toenails are broken." Well, I said, do something about this. You said that the kids say something like that. But it's not something they accustomed to seeing.
Right. Kids tell the truth, man.
Yeah, don't they? Don't. Yeah. So,
when was the last time your wife tried to work on?
probably about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
But it got too long, so that's what they trimmed it. She stopped trying to doctor him up this.
Did you have any problems with socks, making holes in your socks and stuff like that?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
Surprisingly not.
Because I get that complaint a lot from patients with this issue. The socks end up getting holes in them.
I was always afraid I would scratch my wife if I told you. That's why I had to cut them most of the time. These some sharp toenails, I tell you. But no, never had a problem with the socks. Of course, I rotate them more often. Maybe that's probably should be a reason. But no.
Here we go. Now we're seeing a lot of buildup under here. You said this was one that she had an issue with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see the nail split in half. Well, see it kind of sliced down the middle like that.
Yeah.
Cut a little piece of all down the bottom.
There we go.
She never got in the low. She got it. She never.
Yeah.
She was real dressed.
Well, she was being smart. Because unless you know
I was trying to encourage
where
her
to go,
because all that space got two more toes. Well, I was trying to rationalize things.
Yeah, and I always do the soak first, man. There's no way you could do this comfortably without soaking it first.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't hurt when she was trying to do it at home?
No, never hurt. I was surprised. Nope.
I'm surprised. So how long has she been trying to do it until we got to this point?
10 years.
10 years, wow.
It wasn't a continuous work on it. Every gaps in between. It wasn't a concerted effort. It was more or less as an assistant for mine. Cut these toes down.
You're right.
So, and then she would. She's more concentrate more on the skin. Shedding the skin. She's trying to address that best you could.
Gotcha.
How you address skin shedding? What do you do about that?
Well, the thing is, what that is, and we'll talk about a little bit more when we finish with the nails, is athlete's foot, which is also a fungal infection. So you have the double whammy, having a fungal infection in your nails and in your skin.
Yeah. That's what it is.
There we go.
Well, like I said, it's going on so long, y'all surprised you.
There we go, my man.
Difficult
Yeah.
to treat.
The longer it goes, the thicker the nails get, the more debris you get under the nails. Usually when we see it get to this point, you know, it can be quite uncomfortable. You know, but you're doing fairly well not having any pain over the years with this. There we go. You know, what I'm doing is loosening up this debris here. So when I file it down, it comes off easier. Okay.
The cuticle, the white part.
Yeah.
That's why you had the pain when she tried to dig.
Oh, yeah. See, what people don't understand about the cuticle, it actually plays a role. And the role of the cuticle is to prevent fluid and bacteria and other germs from getting underneath the skin and into the nail matrix, also known as the nail root. So it does have a purpose. It can overgrow, and that's why people like to get trimmed back, because it looks kind of off when it gets real thick and overgrows. But where people get themselves in trouble in dealing with the cuticle is trying to go underneath the skin fold and get all of the cuticle.
Right.
You should never try to get all of the cuticle.
And that's when I had the pain of it. Stop jerking.
The cuticle is actually very important. The overgrowth you can trim, but never go underneath the skin fold to work on the cuticle. Tell her to watch this one.
What is it about the cuticle?
Okay, doc. Here goes our nail bed. You see, it looks like you also have some superficial growth of fungus on the top of the nails, all that white. It's not only underneath the nail, which we call subungual, but you also have it on top, which we call superficial. Let's move this over a little bit. Yeah, even, you know, things that medicines that we get over the counter, we should always go into them and treat them as if they're prescription, because they have their side effects. They do interact with other medications and foods, and you know, just because they're over the counter doesn't necessarily mean that they're safer.
Yeah, I think we were loyal to the false sense of security. Over the counter drugs.
So if you've been taking that, was that with a doctor's recommendation, or you just started doing that on your own?
I heard it somewhere, and I just started taking it.
Okay.
Doctor recommendation.
Well, it's something your primary doctor should definitely know that you're doing on a regular basis. That you're taking a baby aspirin every day. Because, you know, if you're taking a baby aspirin every day, and let's say you're having some knee pain or something, and then you start taking a Motrin or Advil or, you know, what that does, because they're in the same class. They're both NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So if you've been taking an aspirin every day, and now let's say for a few days you take Motrin a couple of times a day, 4 or 5 days for your knee pain, and because those medications are in the same class, that's even increasing the blood thinning effect even more.
Wow.
So
I never made that association.
Yep. So now you're at risk of not only having prolonged bleeding from a minor injury, but now you're at risk of developing stomach issues, intestinal issues, bleeding in the stomach, bleeding in the intestines.
Wow.
Okay.
So maybe I should stop, give it that practice.
Yep.
I've been told to do it. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
See, that's the thing about self-management. I mean, if you're smart enough to do self-management, that's fine, but be sure you know what you're dealing with.
Right.
And even though you're taking something over the counter, you should still got to know what it interacts with.
Okay.
Or the side effects it can have. Doesn't matter what the medication is. You all clean down?
Yeah, good. You're talking about that, the water is
The antifungal cream you want to use just on the bottom.
Okay.
Bottom and the sides.
Okay.
And the back of the heel.
In the back of the heel. Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed you at the bottom of my toes, you know.
Yeah, all the way up to the ends of the toes.
Ends of the toes, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then what you're going to use between the toes is a foot powder. Okay. That'll help maintain dryness and prevent spread of the athlete's foot between your toes. There we go. You don't need a lot.
I see that. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, you don't like. Okay.
Put it on a little bit in the morning every day before you get dressed. Even though you're not leaving the house, you still want to do the same thing.
You want to do the same thing. Okay.
Alternate your shoes, like you see me talk about before.
Oh, okay. The shoes, okay.
Yeah. Spray your shoes out at the end of the day. Huh?
I haven't been doing that lately.
No, yeah, even though you're home, you still got to alternate your shoes,
Still
man.
gotta do that. Okay.
Still got to do all those good things, all those good practices.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Things looking good here, man. I like what we see here today. You got a good head start.
Good.
All right, we're going to have the results in a couple of weeks. We'll do a telemedicine conference to go over that report.
Okay.
So we'll know where we need to go from there.
Great.
All right, then we'll be trimming these nails again in 2 months to see how things are going.
Excellent.
All right, my man.
All right.
Solid.
Thank you.
You got it. And I'll be seeing you on the block.
That's right.
All right. This is Kevin Jefferson, the DC Foot Doctor. Thank you for watching this video. Like it with a big thumbs up. To see very interesting cases and my approach and techniques to dealing with them, and to learn how you can improve your foot health, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you will know when a new video has been uploaded. Follow me on social media at DC Foot Doctor. Most importantly, take care of your feet.